Okay, so today we're going to have a look at how to create a bulk mailer using our templates or making one from scratch yourself. The first thing we'll do in the main menu is go into the campaigns submenu. That'll be a list of all the campaigns, drafts completed, sent in your account. This one only has the birthday card. What we're looking to do is create a new campaign. So we're going to click on new, and it's a bulk email that we're looking for. So the campaign needs a name. That's something that you can use to identify it at a glance. The subject line is what's actually going to be in the email. So I'm going to pick this that I typed earlier to save some time. Scottish State Stunner on show this weekend, and I'm going to create the bulk email. You'll be taken into the template screen from there. So there are a number of templates within the RTS system that you can use. You can filter them by category: on show, just listed, just sold, general. I just want to explain that the pictures and the naming convention seems a little odd. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what we're on about here. Okay, so when you're picking a template, this one has got a single image, a single column for text, two images next to one another, and another single text block. This one here has got one image, a text block, and three columns. This one here, single image, two images, and a single text block. So zoom in, have a look, see which one most appeals to you from a structural point of view. I'm going to, let me just put this back to something sensible. I'm going to be showing you an on-show flyer today, so I'm going to filter by that category, and I'm going to select the one for one property. As I've said before, what we do when we're creating bulk mailers is go and get all the information we need, copy and paste it into Notepad, and save the images into a folder that we can use, so that when we sit down to do the creating of the flyer, everything's ready and handy, so there's no jumping around. So that's what we've done in this case as well. I've got a little notepad here that's got all the information that I'm going to need to be able to create this bulk email. Okay, so this is what the structure of the bulk email looks like when you come in. So the information's there just to give you an idea of what goes where. Your banner will automatically come in here, and your signature will automatically come in at the bottom. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is go into design and start changing the text and images. So we're going to make this on show Sunday 15th, July, and I'm going to say you're going to work till 5 o'clock. Okay. Then we need to change the images. The images were saved earlier, as I mentioned, because it saves time. To pick an image, double click on it. The little image library will come up. So I'm going to go and choose the files that I saved earlier in the webinar directory. Click on the one you want, open, and upload it. I'm going to upload all the files while I'm here, again in the interest of saving time. So there's the seller. Upload that. Living room. And view. Okay, again, if you wanted to get rid of one of these, there's a little dustbin if you've brought in the wrong file. Otherwise, just click on the tick of the one you want to use. So this is for the main picture. I'm going to take the view. Then I'm going to change these little images here to be the other rooms. When you're bringing in multiple images in the same block, please make sure that they're the same size to begin with. I'll show you what happens. So I'm going to double click on this one to change this, and I'm going to take the living area. Now you can see that the image size for this picture initially is not the same as this one, so things end up out of line. The system will automatically resize your image to fit the column width and adjust the height as necessary to keep the aspect ratio. So if you're bringing pictures in next to one another, make sure they all start off the same size to begin with. Okay, I'm going to double click on this one. I'm going to go get the picture of the seller, and I'm going to double click here and get the picture of the bath. Okay, so now I'm just going to Oh, that is not the living area, that is the kitchen. Sorry. Give me a second, sorry about that. No, I messed something up horribly here. Kitchen, there we go. Kitchen, cellar, something every home should have, and a bathroom with a view of the bay, I think also. Okay, so then this is where you'll populate the information related to the property. What I'm going to do with this one, I don't like the fact that there's no click here to read more kind of button on this. So I'm going to go into the blocks, and I'm going to find a block that I think fits better what I'm looking to do. And I'm going to take this one that's got a title, it's got some text, and it's got a little button for reading, for more information, click here or whatever. So, which means this block here, I'm just going to delete and get rid of completely. Okay, so I'm going to edit this one, and this is where I'm going to steal the information from my clipboard that I copied earlier. So I'm going to put in 6-bedroom house for sale at Scotty Estate. I want the price underneath it. So I'm just going to enter, pop back. It's great fun watching you copy and paste, I'm sure. I'm going to take some of the information here. Maybe just here, it seems like a lot of information. Pop that in. Okay, and then we want to hyperlink this more info button so people can go and read the rest of the information and see the rest of the pictures. I'm going to center this because I think it would look nicer if it was centered. So I'm going to go into text content, text align, and it's justified at the moment. I'm going to center it, and that suits me better. Okay, then on the more, to hyperlink the more info button, copy the text. Within this little click and hold to drag box, you'll see there's a little hyperlink icon. Click on that. The default is example.com. I'm going to go and get the URL that I want. Copy that. Oops. And paste it into this here. And submit. And now that's hyperlinked. So that's me done everything I wanted to do on this. I'm going to have a little preview of it. Just make sure everything looks nice when it's all presented together. Check that I'm happy with the mobile view. So it puts all the images that were next to one another under the other because the template's dynamic and everything's there that I want, so that's fine. I'll close the preview and I'm going to save that. Okay, the system now wants to know who I wanted to send this bulk email to. I can send it to all my contacts. I could send it to people who are in my exclusivity list. I could send it to my buyers. I could send it to my buyers and my people in my A list. If anybody was in my buyer mailing list and my A client mailing list, they wouldn't get it twice. The system will only send it once to an email address. I'm going to save and review. Okay, so that's it ready. It's going to my A list, which has 3 contacts in it, and my buyers, which has 5. But you can see the recipients are only 6, so there's definitely an overlap between the people in those 2 mailing lists. There will actually only be 6 recipients to this email. From there, you can either start send, which would send it immediately, and the system says, are you sure you want to start sending right now? I don't. What I want to do is schedule this for 9 o'clock on Friday the 13th. And I'm going to schedule that bulk mail. Okay, so this here has changed to scheduled. If you go back into your campaigns, you can see that your mail's there. It is scheduled. This is when it's going to go. This is the date and time it's going to go, the number of people who are going to receive it. If you added people into those mailing lists between now and then, they would automatically become recipients of that email. So that's sending a bulk mail. One quick thing I want to show you, now that you've created this mailer, and you've got the background colors the way you like and everything the way you fancy, you don't always have to start from scratch. You can actually duplicate an existing campaign. So if you really like the layout of this one, you could duplicate it. The system says, are you sure you want to duplicate it? and now the campaign's been duplicated, you are editing the duplicated campaign. So then you would just start filling in the information. This would be on show somewhere else, some other time. And when you go into the content of the mail itself, there we go. Then it's the same one you had previously. You'll just then go and so it's got the little block that I wanted rather than the one that didn't have the more info from the templates. So once you design something you really like, you can just keep duplicating those campaigns, that everything that you send out is consistent. I'm going to save that, and that's me done. If you have any questions, I'm sure Gavin will jump right in and answer them.